Bad's Garage. Again, it's been a while since I did a video, but you know, as people know, life gets in the way sometimes. But yeah, I need to get the motivation going again to get these bikes sorted. I've recently had to do a bit of a job on the Bandit, which I'll tell you about later on. It was to do with the headstock, which was I was getting some weird feedback from it, but I think I've sorted that anyway. But yeah, we need to crack on with this this XJ. We need to continue on getting the just getting this tidied up, really. I mean, it's not a show pony, this bike. It is a workhorse, and it's also a bit of fun as well. You know, it's not an amazing bike, but the worst of the rust in this section of the frame has been painted by hand with some enamel paint. But what I want to do now is clean up that bottom to that joint back there, all the way up and across this front, including this joint, but across the front and then down the other side, and coating it all in a very similar way, which, you know, you're not necessarily gonna notice it until you go up close. But you know, I don't think it's come out too bad a finish. It's never going to be perfect anyway. Now, you know, it's not the sort of bike that warrants being stripped to its bones and you know, beautifying. Although I could do, but you know, I'm not. To be honest, I think this bike will it'll get its TLC it requires to get it back up and running and not on the road again. And there's a possibility I may need to sell it, because it's, you know, it's not going to get used. It's not going to get used. But I haven't decided on that yet, because, you know, I've had this bike, what, 9 years now, and it's not cost me anything, and it's never let me down. So I'm going to get the old the grinder out. I'm going to clean up this side of the frame, get that all cleaned up, and get that painted up, and then we're going to attempt at some point to spin it round, and so we can do the other side. I've had a little bash at the other side, but it's not, you know, it's difficult to do from this side. I'm better off turning it round, and then once this frame's done, I can concentrate on getting this exhaust remounted. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, I had a little issue with the Bandit the other day. I was tending to get when I was going for any long rides, I was tending to get weaving as I was going along, and it turned out, because obviously when I first had it, I assumed it was the wheel bearings in the other wheels, so I changed those wheel bearings. But it only seems to happen when you go on longer runs. You know, you don't really tend to notice it too much when you just bash to work a couple of miles and bash back. You don't really notice it. It's when you go on longer runs where you're going for any length of distance, you know, usually on like long twisty or long straight roads. I was getting a bit of a weave, just a gentle like feeling that the bike wants to go side to side, and it turned out that the headstock bearings, you know, when I got this bike, I've never took the front end off it. I know it's had a new front end on, but I just refurbed around the headstock what was already. I never actually took the headstock off, because the head bearings felt fine anyway. But it turned out they were actually too tight. So you know, that's one possibility, is to, if you ever discover you've got a bit of weave while you're riding, one possibility is your headstock bearings are too tight. I did a little bit of an experiment with putting a scale on it to push or pull the handlebar, see how many grams of pressure it would take before they actually move, and it's meant to be apparently around about 250 grams of pressure, and this was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times that. It went off the scale I had, so I've loosened them up to the point where I'd got a bit of play, tightened them back up, re-gauged them with the scales, and yeah, re-gauged them with the scales, and yeah, she seems fine now. But I'm yet to take her out on a good run, just to be sure. But she definitely turns a lot better, because you know, it's not till you actually do something that you realise that it actually didn't feel right prior to you doing what you've just done, because you just get used to it, don't you? But I have noticed that it does turn a lot better now that I've reset those head bearings. Anyway, let's crack on with the divvy. Right, so if get round all my junk. We're now black on both sides. Like I say, this is just to get some paint on it. It's not how it's going to end up. It's not going to end up much better than that, to be fair, but that should dry a bit smoother and with a matte finish. You know, and it's just to hide the rust that was on them. But like I say, once everything's all cleaned up and the pipes are all on, it won't look out of place, because like I say, I'm not tarting up anyway. I mean, I'm not doing anything too much with the engine, apart from, you know, a bit of a wipe down and whatever. It's just basically to get it on the road, and I can decide once I've done that what I'm actually going to do with it. You know, I still need to paint this front wheel so it matches the back, and get rid of these Yamaha things there, because that's the only thing I've not refurbished. I refurbished all the back not long back. I just never did the front, so I've been repainting the wheel as best I can. Again, not going for top end finish, because I don't really want to have to go to the trouble of taking the disc off. So it'll literally, because all the crappiness is basically around the rim. So we'll be painting this side and mostly painting it from the other side. But it'll look tidy, as long as I can get it back to looking as tidy as it was when I first did it. I'll be happy with that, because it did look pretty tidy then. I've got some new pads to go in there, because they're about gone, and it wants servicing anyway, because it's sticking a little bit. But then again, it's not been on the road for 3 years. It's sat in here while I was doing a few bits to it, but other stuff going the way, like the Bandit. Yeah, that's the frame painted. Once this has dried, I can then start taking that front off, refurbishing that caliper, repainting that wheel, and get it up and running again. So we can get see if we get an MOT. We'll get an MOT. We'll get MOT, and then we'll decide what we're doing with it. So anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time. Cheers.